Hey y'all, a long time ago, I got to spend time at precious Deborah Berceau's library. Deborah and David Berceau are just,
They have blood pressure?
David and Deborah Berceau are just a wonderful gift. And in Deborah's library, there was this book. It was written a long time ago in the 1800s. It was a book about doctors from Europe that had been spending time with Native Americans. And in this book, I forget how it was put, but it was this Native American healer person. I think it was a woman. And she said, "You Europeans are so interesting. When there is a problem, you consult written information. You go to the books. When there's a problem, you go to the books, the written science. When we have a problem, we ask the Spirit, what leaf, what what potion, what poultice, what plant is going to help with this disease or this problem." And they would ask the Spirit and be guided to the many thousands of elements of the earth in order to heal and refresh the body. I thought that was so cool because the Native Americans and the Europeans were actually trading their discoveries and tactics. Now, of course, the doing of medicine and the writing of information is a business, and you can make money from that from other people. The using of the Spirit to guide you how to heal or improve a person's life is something totally different. And that's why, as you know, I declare we have never seen true Christianity. Number two, we need to train in communion group in the home, which is number one at admitting faults, number cheerfully admitting faults. Hey, we get to take off the mask of the world, and it's so nice because we have people that care about us and our weaknesses. We celebrate our weaknesses, admit our faults. We do the mystical communion time with closed doors, only people who are willing to die because they love Yeshua. We do the communion time, and then afterwards, we sit in the cheerful ecstasy and we ask little questions like, should Sister so-and-so go to her aunt's house in North Carolina? Or what is the best way for us to improve our care of the drug addicts? Or give us one baby step to do in the area of our family business. What can we do for you? They're literally asking the Holy Spirit in a collective group, not just individuals getting prophetic words in their closet, but they have actually opened their hearts and spoken about all the details of the things that we hide, especially like King Saul, and especially like the rich young ruler, both of whom were rejected just because there was a little secret thing that they were invited to do that they just didn't feel like doing, and they were rejected. And the Sermon on the Mount is all about the invisible little heart sins of too greedy, too bitter, too unforgiving, too lusty, too desirous of material things. And they're just under bad spirits. So, recently, Sandra C. purchased this book along with a native flute and a drum. And in this book, there's a wonderful thing. The spirit world. Where is the spirit world? To the Native Americans, the spirit world is everywhere. The world of Native Americans is filled every which way with spiritual forces, invisible forces. The spirits are seen mostly as kindly. But sometimes spirits can harm the human world. The spirits live in nature, and nearly everything from a glorious eagle, everything from a glorious eagle to a humble seed of corn, everything in creation is believed to have spiritual powers and in the presence of spirit beings. Aspects of life like illness, aspects of life like illness, aspects of life like illness or climate, circumstances are still understood. Circumstances are still understood by Native Americans to be ruled by the spirits. If you're riding along in your car or your cart and at a certain moment the car doesn't work anymore, be aware of the spirit realm, not just a material part of your car. Be aware that the spirit realm is supreme. That is a foundational thing that was wrecked by the Christian, information-based Jesus of Nazareth information business. The kings of Europe turned Christianity. The Christianity that you know was ripped apart and eviscerated. It had the guts and the goodies ripped out of it way back 2,000 years ago through Constantine and the kings of Europe. Constantine and the kings of Europe did not want to admit that they were politicians who were killing people to get into power, which is Antichrist. They did not want to admit that they wanted to go make out with whatever woman they wanted to, meaning they wanted to divorce and remarry, which is Antichrist. They did not want to admit that they were excessive and materialistic and that their idols were possessions and control. They didn't want to admit any of these things, so they pulled the meetings out of the homes and they put them in nice lecture halls and nice outdoor amphitheaters and nice temples. And in those places, it's almost impossible to stop everyone and say what the elder pastor would say. The pastor is actually just a person in your neighborhood who didn't come in from somewhere else. Just the person whose heart was purest in the spirit. So if you don't want to have any conflict, so if there's a conflict, you say, okay, well, let that person decide so we can just keep moving on and not have any conflicts between one another and between God at all. No conflicts. No errors, no conflicts. So, you and I have all been raised in churches that focus on prayer and study and worship and et cetera, et cetera. And I have never, ever in 63 years been invited into an atmosphere where I can admit my most ordinary faults, my most ordinary difficulties, my most ordinary troubles, even the realities of arousal and what my mind is doing and my attitude towards people. All of those things are going to be evaluated as soon as the next realm is open. And if we are not caring to be the Holy of Holies, as Yeshua taught, then we're actually not really the Church of Jesus Christ at all. I don't care how many miracles, signs, and wonders and salvations you do. If you have not provided a family honesty group for somebody to be baptized into, you are not doing the work that Yeshua taught that was in place for 300 years. Because of the internet, there is no excuse for ignorance. You actually have to not want to know. You have to decide that you like your habits more than you like the teachings of Jesus, which can be easily accessed through the internet. Whoa! This is a positive confrontation. I confront you with the truth that you actually like your habits more than you like the way of life that Yeshua taught. And it's only because the people that loved you taught you how to go in a certain way, and you just followed them and you figured you're doing the right thing. So your peer group has brainwashed you. But the question is, are you willing to be unbrainwashed and get into that attitude of like, I'm willing to die, have my limbs cut off and killed today. I'm willing for that. That's the crown of the faith. That's the most awesome thing of the faith. It's literally the martyrdom. It's the best part because it proves that you're actually in love with the one who's standing over there inviting you into the afterlife. I like that. I like having an invisible friend. Woohoo! And we will be educated on illnesses, mental illnesses, life practice, family attitudes and habits, and how to be the greatest children that there is. Wahoo! Yippee!